What's up, traders? It's your girl, Kaya Trades. And y'all, this week was rough for me. I was very undisciplined this week. I thought I was being disciplined, but as I reviewed my journal and reviewed my trades, I realized I wasn't really following my rules. So I'm going to show you guys the real when it comes to not following your rules and why you should every day. Let's go ahead and get into this video. So honestly, the purpose of this video is to kind of show you guys that, yeah, you're human and you're going to make mistakes, but that's okay because we just need to learn from them and keep pushing forward. As a trader, you only lose if you quit trading and you don't make it to the fruit of the labor and to the successful side of it. So our goal again is to learn and grow as a trader, take these L's and understand why they were and put them into our system to make sure that we're not making the same mistakes over and over again. So I want to take you guys through the trades I took and we're going to kind of walk through at least one or two of them. I was 1 for 5 days. So I was green on Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and also today, y'all, a bank holiday. Took an L, so we're going to go over the trade. The first trade I have is the 30th. It looks like I took a sell. If the 1 hour was bullish, then I was probably taking a counter trend down to that zone, which kind of is what exactly happened today. And of course, the market did not come all the way down to the zone. So let's see how it played out on the next item. Yeah, and sure enough, price was like, nah, we not going down just yet, and pushed higher. So let's look at that on the charts and see kind of where I went wrong. So as we're going over this trade, I can see clearly that price kind of didn't break structure here, but we broke structure to the upside on this one, and it looks like we're headed to be a little bit higher. I'm finding myself like just confusing myself a little bit on my structure, and I know structure, so like just really locking in. This is my 1 hour time frame, and as we can see again, this was the major high and these were low key wicks. If you look, price did break this structure right here, but then if it did break structure, look what happened. All this was liquidity being taken out, potentially to push it higher. So let's see how the day looked. If we zoom in just a little bit on our 1 hour, we already have this zone. And then we have a high right here that price could potentially break. And then we have the low that made that high way down here. So overall, we're currently looking like we're pushing higher and we're bullish. But is that the trade I took? No, I took a sell. Crazy me, crazy me. But let's just see. So we've got our 1 hour. This is the 9 o'clock zone right here. We're going to get it to 9:30. And I typically come to the charts around 8:50, 9 o'clock. I start my live around 9:15. If you want to trade live with me, I trade Monday through Friday live with my Discord. You can click the link in the description to trade with me. And we just go over supply and demand. Again, just this week was a little rough, but we've been having a pretty good start. We had a good last month, so hopefully we can turn that around with this month. As you can see, there's a little bit of resistance going on right here. Price is kind of refusing to break lower. Want to see if we can break higher in this next hour. So price looks like it came down to the zone. There was a nice little zone right here as well. We're going to mark that out from the 5 minute. I believe we marked out the last time. That's on my journal. So let's just see how it plays out. We're going to get all the way to 9:30 and see how it plays out. Okay, our goal is to see if price can come against this high and create a new demand zone, right? I like my 5 minutes orange. You guys already know. We are right here on the 5 minute and we're waiting for the high to be broken. If I saw the zone automatically, I don't really trade before 9:30. So if I were to take this 9:30 possible setup, it would be, here and then wait for the push to the upside. I don't think that that's the trade that I saw. So we're going to click next and see what happens. Price is still pushing higher and breaking more structure. That's what we love to see. We love to see the confirmation of the trend. This would be our new zone. and we would wait for price to come back here. Okay, we pushed up, we pushed up. We kind of took out the liquidity at the top. So I'm going to make this a dashed line. Okay, we came so close to the higher time frame external range liquidity as well, which is just another fancy way of saying the high on the higher time frame. Let's see how price reacts. Okay, around this time, it's consecutive candles. I believe I just switched down to the 1 minute. So let's see. I came down to the 1 minute. I saw that we didn't break the high right there. I saw that we're starting to push a little bit lower. I saw that we weren't necessarily breaking a high, but because my higher time frame was bullish, I should have already been looking for just waiting for price to come and break this high. I think I tried to take it back down. Let's see how that plays out. And again, I dropped down to my 1 hour, which I should have 1 minute. I should have just immediately noticed like we're sweeping liquidity and we're not trying to push a little higher. Just wait. Just wait to see if it actually wants to push higher. I did not try to take it lower. And of course, we even got a minor break of structure here. And a minor break of structure for me is price is going in one direction. Let's say for this example, it's going bullish and we have a pullback, but on the lower time frame, we get a candle to close and engulf the previous bearish candle, which is exactly what happened here, creating a new zone and then kind of working its way back up. So I could have potentially waited for this minor break of structure and to see if it'll break all the way, but I would go ahead and make my zone. At this point in time, it's 9:45, so let's see. Price then tap that zone. Let's see how it reacts. Okay, there's no high broken yet. So once price has tapped my zone, I'm now waiting for price to give me a break of candle for my entry. And if you guys don't know, I do keep this on my charts every day when I trade. This is called my KT system, which is my 1 hour, my 5 minute in alignment, a break of structure, which is what we got right here, a tap of zone, which we did actually get as well, and then a break of candle for my entry. Again, this is the 1 minute time frame though. So honestly, we're gonna see what I did wrong, which we did, even though I pushed higher. But let's see. See how this would have played out. We would not have had a break of candle just yet. So we would still be waiting. Okay, no break of candle just yet. So we'd still be waiting. We'd make adjustments as the candle prints. And I think just the 1 minute has been super fast for me to make these adjustments, type in all my stuff, and take the trade. Still didn't quite break yet, but let's see if we can get the next candle to break. It did. I would have been tagged in for my trade soon as it broke that candle. As you guys can see, price went to my 1-to-1. I would have then moved my stop loss to break even, just like right here on my little KT system. Let's see if 1-to-2 would have smacked. As we approach 1-to-2, I would have moved my stop loss to 1-to-1. But let's see if we even get that. Yep. So kind of closer to 1-to-2, even closer. My stop loss would have already been moved to my 1-to-2. This would have been my stop loss. Now that we've gotten this close, and then of course, price smash that TP2. And again, as we saw, that is not the trade I took. I was hoping and praying and pleading that price would come down. Of course, price showed me, no, that's not what we're doing, lady. I'm gonna be right back, grab my charger, and I'll be finish up this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 5 minute and see if any zones were presented. Not really. Price was pushing up, never gave a tap of a new demand zone. It did kind of break structure here. Let's see how that plays out. That wouldn't have worked as well, but price did eventually keep pushing higher. So actually the 1 minute did kind of work in the favor today. If I would have waited a little longer, this is like around 11:15, there was a small setup kind of right here. Price came, broke structure. We got a zone. Price came and tapped that zone. We wait for the break of candle entry. Boom, it went all the way up to a 1 to 3 as far as I went on here around 1 a.m., 1 o'clock p.m. So that was Tuesday's trade. Let's go ahead and look at Wednesday's trade. I think I took 2 trades as well. I missed this trade, you guys. I was so mad. Again, the 1 minute I was trying to put in my little tool and I wasn't able to snag this trade. It broke my heart, but I moved on. But did I? And then we had this area that was kind of support. And then we had a minor break of structure, just like that. We had the tap of the zone. We had the break of candle. And guys, let's see how this trade played out because this one really hurt my heart. Again, we now broke structure to the upside. So this is our new high. And of course, we consider this a break of structure. So overall bias should have been bullish. We will look at that in just a moment. Okay, that's about 8 o'clock there. And as we can see right now that we've hit our highs yesterday and we're starting to come down a bit, we can see that price is moving lower, right? Price is moving a little lower. So this is just our pullback. We could potentially be looking for sells here. Let's see what I took. I took buys. Okay, that goes kind of with the overall trend, but let's see how that worked out. Honestly, I definitely think I wrote out this zone here as a support level, which probably was okay, like in my mind, but it kind of hurt me in this trade. So let's go on down to the 5 minutes. We're going to go to 9:30, 9:30 open. We're going to put our rules back up here on the screen because again, we trade by these set of rules. This is the rules we don't want to deter from. So we have the support zone and price is still just breaking structure, making lower lows. Let's get to 9:30, okay? And price still broke structure to the downside right here, giving a zone right here. Let's see how that plays out. I want to say I dropped down to the 1 minute on this time frame too. All right, and technically we do have this zone down here. People play fair value gaps, but I don't trade them, so let's not even bother that. I'm gonna take this off. Okay, our 1 hour, we are in a pullback. Our 5 minute is bearish. Let's see if this works out, if we can get a tap of this zone. Okay, once price got stopped right here, I believe this is when I dropped down to the 1 minute. And then as you guys can see, a minor break of structure after price was moving in a certain direction. We then kind of broke structure. So we're waiting for price to break a high. We're making a higher lows and higher highs. We have another break of structure. Let's see if we can go ahead and get a tap of this zone. Again, this is the trade that I did take. So break of structure, okay? A zone was created. We're gonna wait for our tap of our zone. Let's see if we can get that. It's playing around the support area. We don't get a tap just yet, so I'm not entering anything. We get another break of structure. It's very, very small. Like I'm going to zoom in for you guys. And I think this has been another one of my problems this week. So next week, again, we're going to attack the charts ready to go. I'm just too zoomed in right now. And I don't think zooming is a problem, but zooming in on the 1 minute, that's been my problem this week. So we're going to adjust our zone here. After we got the break of the zone, which I consider this a break because the candle did close, then we got a tap of this zone. Let's see how it plays out. If we got the break of structure and see if we can get the break of candle. We did not get that break of candle for our entry. So let's see if we can get that break of candle here. We do in fact get it. Let's see how it played out. Okay, no, I did use the full zone. That makes sense. Let's see if that looks exactly like it. We're still playing at that support level. So let's go back to make it look a little easier. This is when I got into the trade. This was my zone. I'm looking for my 1 to 2 up here. If I look left, there was liquidity resting up here. So again, in my mind, I thought it was valid. Let's see. Let's see how this one played out. Okay, we were playing around now a supply zone. So I should have at least expected a reaction. We got that. Price came up, smacked my TP1. So now my stop loss is break even. And I don't think we got stopped out just yet. Let's see. And of course, the supply zone was holding. If I look on the 5 minute, I bet you it tells me that it's holding. Oh, okay, it broke a little bit, but it still didn't push too much higher. This is just grabbing a little bit more liquidity, as we see. Woo, frustration, bro. Frustration. But in my mind, at this point in time, I'm thinking, okay, we have a support zone. Price will continue to move up. So I was break even on that trade. Let's go ahead and take this off. And then let's see the other trade that I took, because that one was at break even. Then I took another trade. That's the break even one. I took another trade, guys. As you guys can see, it's at that support level. So let's go ahead and zoom to see what that support level is looking like. We tap that support level and we get a minor break of structure to the upside. So I felt confident taking this trade, but I'm on the 1 minute. So Lord knows. By this time, I have a certain risk on my live account because I do trade my live personal money. But let's see. Let's see how this one plays out. We're waiting for a tap of zone. We have the break of structure. Boom. Let's see if we can get a tap of the zone. We got a tap. Okay, I would have had my stop loss at that zone beautifully. Okay, which another thing, the liquidity was still resting up there, but I should have just seen all this and be like, nah, 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 just wait. Just wait, just wait, just wait. Another one might present, which we'll see if it does, but let's see. All right, so we're going, and we're getting stopped out. Boom. We got stopped out again, bro. Well, the first one was break even. So then we got stopped out. Mind you, going back to the 5 minute, we slightly had structure here, and then we slightly had a zone here. But I wasn't thinking of the zone, guys, because I was on the 1 minute, which again, over that. Technically, this is still just liquidity, but it does still count because once we make this low, we want to see if price is actually about to turn bullish. So we want to see if it will break this high. At this point, this isn't even really a zone. Only zone this could be is a minor break of structure. From over here, we had an engulfing candle close above this last black candle. That would have been the only reason to make the zone valid. But let's see. I went back to the 1 minute. And after taking this loss on my personal account, I have a certain risk. I was down and I only had maybe like $50 left in order to use on this last trade. And let's see how it played out. I took it. I got stopped out because I only had $50 left. And then you guys, market broke my heart. It didn't stop me out. And this time I didn't use the full zone. This looks like it is a 5 minute time frame. So that's beautiful. At least I was on the 5 minute time frame. And going back to this 5 minute, we see that price is rejecting this minor break of structure zone. So we're going to wait for the candle to close above. And there's some highs up here to look forward to. So pretty confident in this trade. As I get there, price is really rejecting. We get entered into the trade. I got stopped out for not having enough risk left to trade. It never would have hit my stop loss. And then price, of course, almost hits my 1-to-1. Let's see if it can get my 1-to-1. Smashes my 1-to-1. My stop loss would have been moved to break even. And guys, my TP2 got smashed. 2 days back to back. My heart was broken. I'm not gonna lie. We do have one more, so let's do at least. That was what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's do Thursdays too. We did have our weekly call on my Discord. So if you do have any questions or concerns, you need some answers, you're wondering, can you review trades? I do that on a weekly basis on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. My Discord goes live and we just kind of chop it up and answer some questions that might need to be answered. So if you're interested in my Discord, drop down. I do have a 4th of July discount code. Get your first month 25% off, and the rest of the months will be back to normal. But enjoy the vibe, check it out. We have a lot of fun, we talk a lot, and we sometimes sing and joke around with the charts too. So market be needing a little extra push. Go ahead and click that link in the description. The discount code is July 4, 2026. July 4, 2026. All right, so let's go to yesterday, Thursday. So we took a trade. It looks like we were taking some buys. I wrote bearish, right? But then look, I took a buy. Let's see what happened to that. Wah, wah. Y'all, I broke my rules. I broke my rules. Before it would have even came stop me out, I got out early. Like I moved my stop loss. I was like, I don't even trust it. Like I thought it was bearish, like bull, bull, bull. Oh, I guess I did flip my bias to bullish, but yeah, no, yesterday was just an emotional day. Before I got on the charts, I had like a lot of stuff going on. So note to self, if you're going to trade, make sure you know you're at peace, you're calm, you do your morning routine. I was off my routine, just a lot of stuff going on, but we're getting it back together. I cut this trade short. Little do we know, it started to push higher. We had a minor break of structure, and that one was really a wick. Woo, crazy work. So I assume I lost this one pretty quick. Let's see. We had the tap of the zone, and then let's see if it pushed higher. Womp womp. Straight to stop loss. So obviously entered this trade prematurely. Got upset because I cut off this trade early, would have still been in this trade. Let's see what happened later. We took another trade. Wait, is that today? No, that's today. Yeah, so we took that one trade and we took the other trade and we were cooked. But I do believe the markets went all the way up, and that just really broke my heart. So yeah, moral of the story for me is really just focusing on my strategy. I wanted to hop on here and show you guys, like, you're going to make errors. Like, I've been trading so well all year, and then I come in and I had a bad week. But that doesn't make me a bad trader. It just gives me more motivation to keep going and to keep pushing and to keep learning. If you get complacent, the market will put you in check and show you, like, no, you think you got it going on, follow your rules, be disciplined, or I'll make you pay. And the market did. So we started off this month, July, kind of weak, but I'm ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to, get myself a little bit out of drawdown. So I do have a backtesting session happening tomorrow, the 4th of July. Again, I do have that discount code July 4, 2026. If you guys want to join in on that session, if you're not doing anything for the 4th of July, happy 4th. I'm not doing much, so I'm going to be on these charts as I should, especially after this past week. But you got this. I got this. We got this. We're going to come back next week nice and strong. I will catch you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.